Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. It's been like a whole school year pretty much. It is April 2025 and the last time I recorded a video was I think September 2024. And let me tell you, a lot has happened. Let me give you a little tour of my room. So you walk in from the door and over here we have my closet. Still. And then we have my pantry up here. And then my other closet pretty much. And my Keurig stand here. And over here is like my guest bed. But like my couch. So I decorated it as a couch. And then underneath here I have Layla's stuff, vacuum, stuff like that. And then I decorated my wall. And here's my Walmart balloon I got from Dollar Tree. Here is my Patrick cone, my high school cone, my TV stand. That's where I put my dishes. That's my forks and my spoons. Microwave, alarm clock, all my ducks. Fridge, I decorated that. Oh my gosh, you want to see the inside of it? It's so pretty. If it'll open. Look, I organized it. Looks so pretty. I hope you like it. And then I got succulents. I decorated my window for Easter. Over here, we have pretty much the same. Calendar, posters, desk. I know this looks a lot different from last time you guys saw it. Poster board. Just a bunch of stuff over here. My new Alexa. I love it. So there's a room tour. A lot has changed, obviously. I changed this room up about a million trillion different times. I also do have a cat now. Her name is Layla. She's playing with a ball under my bed right now. Layla, she is a year old now. Are you okay? I know. She's officially certified with the state of Wisconsin for my ESA pet. I'm so excited. She did not want to be on camera. I got her a vest today, but it did not fit her, so I had to reorder a new one. But she's my little bundle of joy, and I love her. Tomorrow I'm going to be waking up at 6 a.m. And I kind of wanted to just do a little get ready with me. It's just kind of, sort of, I'll tell you an update on my life. Tell you how things have been. Stuff like that. I might get into some details. I finally set up a routine here. It's great. I love it. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I don't know what time I actually told you guys. Did I tell you 5 or 6? I don't know. 6 a.m. I have therapy at 8. So we'll see if I actually get up at 6. Today I slept in. But I'll just tell you everything as I get ready tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow morning. Say bye, Layla. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. She's like, what the heck? I actually got up. It is 6:10 a.m. And I actually got up. I don't know how I did it. But I did it. I don't know how I did it. 6:10. I'm actually staying up. There's Layla. The sky's so pretty. I'm like half asleep right now. But we're gonna get up. It's Tuesday day. And I'm gonna make waffles. So I finally got up a half an hour later. I just chat. What? English? This is gonna be really hard. I just scrolled on TikTok for a while. So the first thing I do when I usually get up is I get up and I take my glasses off and I put my contacts in, because then I know it just helps me wake up and it gets me ready, you know. After I do that, Let me adjust my eyes. After I do that, I give Layla some love and affection, and then I give her food because she's hungry. I am so tired. But, like, I'm not tired. Like, I got up so easily. There's Layla. She still has food in her bowl from yesterday because she was like a razor. She doesn't like eat all of her food at once. Come here. I love you. Good morning. Aw, squish ball. She doesn't eat all of her food at once, so I don't always have to feed her. So I got dressed. Here's the outfit of the day. I got shorts on today because it's gonna be like 60 degrees. I'm really excited. Let me just show you the other view. So here's my fit. Cute, cute. And then I'm gonna be wearing these tennis shoes today because I have work today, obviously. Okay, now I'm going to. Ow, I just hurt my finger. Here's my breakfast. I had a toaster for a while, but it was at Kiana's house. So I just picked it up from Kiana's house. And now here we are. Not fully cooked. Alright, let's start out with September. So September I moved in here. I love living here. I loved living here. I still love living here. It's amazing. I ended up meeting 2 of my friends that I still am currently friends with right now. On like the first day of all of this. And when I last videoed, I had just gotten back. What the heck? Why? I just gotten back from the Warhawk welcome. And I was showing you my room and everything, and I was so excited. Well, after that, I was adjusting to my friends and everything, and I was trying to figure out my life. I was trying to figure out who I wanted to be friends with. And towards the middle of September, I ended up going to the Strip. If you don't know what the Strip is, it's just like a road in Janesville. I ended up going to the Strip, and I ran into some friends there. Well, they became my friends or whatever. And you stay there, I have a toaster and I don't want you to die. They became my so-called friends, and we hung out all the time, almost every day. October hit and we still were hanging out, but that is when they got me into partying and drinking, and it was not good. I never went to class. It was bad. I never did anything. I never went to class. Nothing like that. One of the girls, she had such a bad sleep schedule. She messed up my sleep schedule so badly. So there was one day that we would be out one day we were out till 7 a.m. Like, I was up from the day before still till 7 a.m. And it is 6:40 and I am just waking up. And that's crazy because I would still be up right now no matter what, but I would be completely tired. And she'd keep me up so long, and it was crazy. That scared me. So she kept me up all the time. She kept me up till like 7 a.m. and it was awful. It was so bad for my physical and mental health. I never got any sleep. And it got to the point where, like, she was keeping me up this long. I ended up not being able to fall asleep on myself. Like, even when I wasn't hanging out with them, I couldn't fall asleep. And it got to the point where I was scared to fall asleep. So I would have such a hard time falling asleep. And it got bad. Fast forward, my friends and I would still be hanging out. And I was like so sweet and everything. And I let them like live in my dorm with me if they needed to. So one of my friends at the time got kicked out of his apartment. So I let him stay with me for a while. Well, that ended up kicking my butt. He was nice and everything, but everybody else we were so-called friends with started talking crap about it. And they were talking crap about the fact that I let him stay at my dorm. They were talking crap about like, oh my gosh, they're hooking up. Oh my gosh, they're doing this and that. They're gonna get together, blah, 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 blah. It was a whole lot of crap. And everyone at the strip started hating me. And I was like, I'm sorry, you gotta leave. And he was like, it's okay, I have a place lined up anyways. So he moved out. Shortly after, my other friend at the time, we're gonna call her Crystal. She moved in with me. It was so great. I was so happy. She moved in with me and we were hanging out all the time. And at the time I didn't have like a stable job. I worked at Waddles, but it didn't pay me as much as it like during the summer. I just was not working enough. So I didn't have any money. And I had severe credit card debt. It was so bad. And so we would hang out all the time. She would drive me places. She would buy stuff for me. And I thought it was fine because I was letting her stay at my dorm. It was like an equal trade. It was fine. Well, I was wrong. It was not an equal trade. She ended up using that against me, talking crap about me all the time to her little friends. And yeah. She apparently wasn't really helping me out. And I wasn't apparently helping her out. I was just using her for her money or whatever. And apparently I was using her for her money or whatever. And I wasn't. I was letting her stay at my dorm. I was letting her have a safe place to live because her house at the time, her living situation was crap. So I let her stay here. That was a mistake. And they still talk crap about me about a lot of stuff. Fast forward a little bit. I had one of my other friends stay with me because she needed to just get out of the house that she was living in at the time. She just needed a clear space to live, a clear mindset, this and that. So she needed a place to stay. And I was like, yeah, you could just come live with me. It's okay. Like, it's fine. And she was like, okay, great. Thank you. This is perfect. I'll probably be here for a week and then I'll just leave. Or she said a few days and it ended up being like a week, which was fine. I didn't care. Nothing bad really happened when she left. Everything kind of just went back to normal. But I ended up realizing that I couldn't be alone. And I hated being alone because when I would like try to convince people to like sleep at my dorm because I couldn't be alone and it was awful. And why aren't you working? I'm eating my waffles. I'm going to Starbucks because my Keurig does not work right now and I'm just ready to blow it up. I'm just kidding. Don't mind my Bluey back there. You're just jealous. I love Bluey. Bluey makes me happy. Anyways, so she stayed at my dorm for a week or so. And that was fine. And I asked her if she needed to come back because I hated being alone. And I was alone. And this was the span of October to November. Well, on October, I'll say 28th or so, my friend posted on her story that, does anybody want a free cat? And I was like, yeah, I do want a free cat. Because I was thinking about getting a cat. I like really wanted a cat for my dorm. Yeah, I wanted a free cat. Like, is this serious? And she said, yeah, like, if I don't give these cats away, like, we don't know what's gonna happen to them. I was like, yeah, I'll take one. not even thinking about how I was going to take care of it, how I was going to get away with that in a dorm room, what my parents were going to say. I kind of was just going to not tell them. I don't know what I was going to do, to be honest, but I wasn't going to tell them. I got Layla. She's adorable. We love her. And then November hit. I was still partying. I was still drinking. I was drinking like every day. And I don't want to say I was alcoholic, but I don't know if I was. I'm pretty sure. Layla, you do not like water. But yeah, I was drinking every day. Like, I wasn't going to class. It was bad. It was bad. I was still hanging out with these people right at the end of November. And right after Thanksgiving break, I came back and we all were hanging out again. I stopped going to the strip at some point in November. I started hating it a lot. So they ended up coming and hanging out with me at my dorm. And I was like, this is great. Like, I love this. This is amazing. And in this time frame, I thought I lost my college friends because they didn't like what I was doing. Stop it, Layla. They didn't like what I was doing, which is understandable. I don't blame them. But I just sat and cried. And of course, I was with my strip friends when I found out. And I just sat and cried. And they're like, we'll never leave you, Liz. Like, it's okay. We'll never leave you. You're amazing. Like, just forget about them. You don't need them. And I'm trying to be supportive. And I was like, okay. And then they brought me Taco Bell and I cried in the back of the car. It was a great night. So, fast forward to December. December hit. Right when I went home for Christmas, they kind of stopped talking to me. After the dorm was gone, after like all that, they stopped talking to me. And in this time frame, I added this guy on Snapchat because I figured out that his girlfriend broke up with him. So I added him on Snapchat. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I never hated him in the past. I only hated her. Let me just add him. Like, no intentions of anything. Just like, why would I have him blocked if I never hated him? Oh my gosh, my nose is making me mad. So I added him on Snapchat. And we ended up talking. We started talking. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, he's so cute. He's like amazing. He's perfect. He will do anything for me. He'll buy me flowers. I won't have to beg for anything. Like, he'll treat me right. This is gonna be amazing. And I'm so excited. So then we talked for the whole month of December. And then a couple things came up with his ex. And I didn't pick up on this at the time. But he would start talking about her a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He would talk about her a lot. And I never really processed it at the time. I never, like, comprehended it. Can you not put your face in my waffles? But I was like, yeah, this is, like, the main thing that we have in common because I was friends with her at one point, a long time before this. And so, that's like all you would talk about. I don't know why I never processed it. And I remember the second time we hung out, we were talking about her. And he was like, yeah, we could never do it in a car. And I said, oh, well, that makes sense, blah, blah, blah. I knew why. Nobody else needs to know. And he was like, yeah, do you want to try? And I was like, what? Like, we just started talking. Like, I barely even know you. Well, I knew him, but, like, not in that way. Like, I don't do that before dating, like, and I made that very clear. I was like, I don't do that before dating. He was like, oh, okay. So we hung out the rest of the day, or at least the rest of that afternoon until I had to go to work. And we would hang out in Johnson Creek, which is way over here. Here's Jefferson. And I had to work all the way in Janesville. So I drive from Helensville to Johnson Creek. And then all the way to Janesville just to go to work. But I'd go to Johnson Creek just to hang out with him. And we would hang out in our cars at like parks and stuff. Then, cause he was so like, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb because he was like, yeah, I don't want people to see us together because I don't want them to talk to his ex-girlfriend about it. And he was like, I don't want to get back to her. Like, I just don't want to cause any problems. Like, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm so dumb. Because the reason why he didn't want us to be seen in public together was because he didn't want anybody to know that we were even like in the vicinity of each other. He didn't want anybody to know that he was hanging out with me because what he was about to do next. And I'm just so dumb, and I don't know why I thought that was okay. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And he would drive me to Culver's and Subway, and we would like go places, but like together, but he would never come inside with me. It would always just be me or always just him. We would take turns. We would switch out in the car. And I'm just so dumb because now it's all processing in my head. And it kind of processed before, but like it is processing right now. I can't finish this waffle. Hold on. I grabbed yogurt. I'm just so dumb because I don't know why I thought that was like normal. My first relationship, we had to hide it too. Because of my parents. They know about it now, but whatever. That's not the point. The point is that I was too dumb to realize that he did not want anybody to see us together because he was ashamed of me. And I'm not gonna cry in this video because it's dumb. There's no reason to cry because I have already cried so much about this. There's no reason to cry. I can't. So, when I went home for Christmas break, I was closer to him. Which is why we're hanging out more. So, at this point, the other people stopped talking to me completely. I wanted to buy one of them a tattoo. I wanted to buy her a tattoo, and I was going to pick her up. I was going to take her to get her tattoo. It was going to be perfect. I was going to pay for everything. And then all of a sudden, she was like, I was like, are you ready for this weekend? Like, to go get your tattoo? And all of a sudden, she didn't want to anymore. And I was like, oh, like, do you want to, like, pick a different day? And that was kind of the end of that. And she stopped talking to me. And so there's that. And after a while of them not talking to me, I just unadded them because I was done with their stupid crap. There was no reason for them to be on my Snapchat if they weren't even talking to me. So I removed them. So then they were out of my picture, out of my life. And I was so confused why, and I didn't understand why. And back to the guy, we were hanging out all the time. And we would hang out, he would make me laugh and everything, and it was January, and he told me, we were in his room, and he told me that he was ready for a relationship, and I said, are you sure, like, and he was like, she hurt you, like, excuse me, I know she hurt you, like, I know you're not ready, you were in a relationship with her for like 2 years, like, are you, like, you need more time. He was like, no, I'm ready. And before this, he like texted me, oh my gosh, like, you make me so happy. And I've never trusted a girl like this before. And in the meantime, when he was texting me all this, he was also texting her and saying that he missed her and saying, like, I wish you were here. And we were talking throughout all of it. And I will get to that in a little bit on how I figured out that. But January 6th, 2025, we made it official. I was so happy. He was like, you make me the happiest in the world. And I was so happy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is amazing. And I was just so excited. I had to tell one of my friends first. He didn't want me telling anyone. And I was like, okay, I'm not telling Jefferson people. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm not telling Jefferson people. It's okay. And he was like, fine. And I was like, I'm not telling Jefferson people. And I was so excited. And me and my friends planned like a bowling trip to celebrate. And he would come with. And we were already talking about him meeting my parents, because I already met his, because I was going to his house. And they were so sweet. They were so nice to me. And like, it was so exciting. And every single time that we hung out, it did not matter what we were doing, because we originally were hanging out in the cars, and then his dad was like, bring her to the house. Like, why are you hiding in a car? And I really wish he did not say this. I really, really wish he didn't. And at the time, I was excited, and I was like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, every single time we hung out, he wanted to have sex, and it did not matter if I wanted to do it or not. After we started dating, that's all he wanted to do, because I told him that I date and then I do it. And literally the first day, that is what we did. The first day of dating, that moment, that is what we did. And I am so dumb for falling for it. I am so dumb for even thinking that that was normal. I am so dumb. That day, we did it. And after that, that is all we did. Every single time we hung out, we would hang out a lot too. And we would hang out a lot. And every single time, he would convince me that we should do it. He convinced me, and I never physically said no, and I regret it, because I don't know if it's gonna kick me in the butt. But I never physically said no. But my body language, I said no. My body language made me say no. Like, it was clear as day that I didn't want to do it, even though I didn't physically say no. Like, you could tell, I did not want to do it, but it didn't matter. And then it got to the point where, like, I wanted to do it, but not really. It was weird, because I didn't want to do it, and I did not say no. My body language was like, no. It's like I was expecting something different. I don't know. It was weird. And I don't want to get too much into detail, but like, I would be like, yes, I want this, but what I'm about to get is not what I'm expecting, if that makes sense. And it's just tiring. And it's so sad that I don't know, it was dumb. And we were talking for like 2 months. So we started dating January 6th. We started talking like December, I don't know, just say 16th or something. I think it was like December 8th or whatever, but it doesn't matter. We started dating January 6th. And then we broke up January 22nd or 23rd. Or 20, no, it was like 21st, 22nd or 23rd. And the fact that I even remember that is crazy. Because when we were dating, I asked him when him and his ex broke up and he didn't even remember. Or he didn't remember. I don't know, whichever one. But it's like, this isn't normal. It's crazy that this happened, and I let it happen, and that is what is messed up about it. So in this time frame, I still hated her, his ex, and we were still dating. Like, and in this time frame, like we would talk about her after we did it. We would talk about her all the time, and it's so dumb that I even let that happen. And it got to the point of like, we hung out sometime in February, and we still were talking about her. And we broke up like January 22nd. He stopped talking to me for like a week. And he didn't like know nothing. Like, I need some time alone. Nothing. Just ghosted me. And I was like, oh, okay. And he completely ghosted me. And I was like, oh, alright. So then I finally got an answer out of him. And we started talking again. Because he said he needed some time. Like, he wasn't ready for a relationship. That bullshit, whatever. Maybe he wasn't ready, but he knew from the beginning that he wasn't ready. But he just wanted sex. So I texted him, because we originally, like when we first started dating, we originally planned to hang out on February 15th. Because I couldn't get off February 14th. So I wanted to go out to eat, and I wanted to like do all these couple things, but we ended up back in his bedroom anyways. And something that I did just remember is that week that we called, and he said on the phone that he would be coming here. He was like, yeah, I'll come there, I'll sleep over. And I was like, yeah, like, this is amazing. Like this is great, we'll sleep over. And I should start getting ready while I tell you this. We'll sleep over, blah, 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 blah. And then he like barely texted me all week. And his excuse was always that he just doesn't text people back. His excuse was that like he just needs some time alone. Like, it was always mental health, and I don't know if that was true. I don't want to say that it wasn't true, but part of me feels like it was just an excuse not to talk to me. Well, we called the night before just to double check, because he canceled on me once before. And I talked to him, and I was like, we were all set for him to come over. Like, it was perfect. We were on the same track. He wasn't talking to me at all the next day. And like, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, like, okay, maybe he's still sleeping. No, he was last active like 10 minutes ago. Okay, well, maybe he's at work. He was at work. I still saw that he was active at work. And then he went home. I went to work. I want to do a bun. When he went home, I went to work. So when he was at home, I was texting him. Like, I was like, can you answer? Like, what's going on? Are we still on for tonight? Like, and he was like, he finally answered me. Oh my gosh. It was right before the end of my shift. And my shifts were not that long, but mind you, he went all day without texting me. All day. Like, he didn't text me on his break. Like, I know this sounds, I don't know, it sounds bad from like, oh my gosh, he didn't text me. But like, I was just double checking, like nothing, not even a single snap. We had streaks too. And I don't know, like if I'm crazy or whatever, but he didn't text me all that day. And I did not think I was gonna get into this in this video. I thought I was gonna have to make another video, but here we are. And the fact that I'm not crying right now actually proves that I have healed from this. At least I think. No, I have not. I have not fully healed from this, but at least I can talk about it. But anyways, it was right before the end of my shift. And he said, sorry, I can't come anymore. And I'm like, what? And he was like, can't come anymore, parents won't let me sleep over. And then he proceeds to tell me that he knew his parents weren't gonna let him sleep over. And I was like, so then why did you tell me that you could? Like, what? Like, what? You knew that they would say no, so why did you agree to it? Why did you agree to this whole plan? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And he just said, I don't know. Like, so I did not let him say no pretty much. And because I was so sick of people like bailing on me and canceling plans. And so I was like, can we move it to your house? Like please, I was looking forward to this. Like, what's going on? Like, this is all I was thinking about all week. This is the only thing that got me through my week. Like, and so we ended up hanging out at his house. And we were not dating anymore. Reminding you, we were not dating anymore when we hung out at this end. So we hung out and everything. Everything was great. We weren't dating anymore. So we go to his house. And when we were talking on the phone, I forgot to mention this. When we were talking on the phone the night before, he convinced me to sleep naked for his own pleasure of thought. I don't know. And he convinced me. And I was like, we're not dating, like. And he was like, but I've already seen you naked. It doesn't matter. Like, what's the difference? It doesn't matter. And I was like, well, that's true. That is true. But we aren't dating. I ended up getting undressed on FaceTime. And from what he thinks, I slept naked, but I couldn't make it throughout the night. I felt really uncomfortable. So fast forward back to where we were before. I was like, can we go to your house? Like I really want to see you today. I was really looking forward to this. And at this point, I had like severe anxiety. Or like I kept looking forward to things to keep me through the week. And so when we ended up going to his house, and we ended up hanging out, and we were in his room again. And we ended up having sex with him. He convinced me. I was like, we're not together. I was like, well, we've already done it before, so what's the difference? And I'm so stupid for even falling for this. I'm so dumb. Well, we ended up doing it. We hung out a little bit, and we looked at his drawn pictures, and we started talking about her again. And so I tried to change the subject. I tried to talk about something else. And it ended up going back to her. And so, and then I was like, oh, like, let me show you this picture, but she's in it. Are you okay with that? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. He was fine with it because he still liked her. He was fine with it because he wasn't over her. And he was fine with it because of many, many other things. And yes, friends, you can be friends with your exes, but this was not the case. Yes, you can be okay with seeing pictures with your ex and them, but this was not the case. He was fine with it because he still liked her. He was fine with it because he was still talking to her and saying that he missed her while we were talking, and probably while we were dating too. And so after that, we just sat there a little bit, and he was like, I think you should go. And I did not want to leave, but I laughed. Like, I didn't fight it. He was like, it's getting late, I think you should go. It's like 8:30. It was like 8:30, I think. I could be wrong. It was not late. And so, after that night, he stopped talking to me again. He ghosted me again. And it took me until March something, like beginning of March. After many days of being ghosted, like he started talking, like snapping me, but he wouldn't text me. And then it took 3 days of him ghosting me straight while still being active on Snapchat. Like continuously being active. For me to realize that he used me for my body. And I didn't even realize the fact that he sexually assaulted me yet until later. Like, later. So, I was at my friend's house when I found this out. And I sat in my friend's bathroom and I cried because I didn't want to wake her up. And I just sat there and I cried because I felt so used. I felt so like, why did I fall for this? I felt so like gross. I just wanted to curl up in a ball and die, and I hated it. And I didn't know what to do. And I just sat there and I didn't want to wake her up, so I just stayed in the bathroom. And I couldn't stop crying. And I was texting one of my other friends that was still awake. And I was like, he used me. Me and him, when we were dating, he didn't want me, he didn't care about me, he used me for my body. And At this point, I didn't even know what sexual assault was. So the next day, I told my friend, and I took a picture in the bathroom, and I'll put it right here. And I woke up the next day, and my friend was like, "Why didn't you wake me up?" And I was like, I just didn't want to wake you up, like, but I found out this, and she felt really bad, and it was just really sad. So the whole next day I didn't want to do anything. And by the time it was time for me to leave, I cried all the way home. And I ended up going to my friend's house that day, and he comforted me, and we talked through it. And we talked through everything, and he helped me feel better, and yeah. And we hung out that day, and then after I left, I just laid in my bed, and I curled up, and I felt like nothing. I felt like a piece of paper, and I felt like I was worthless, and I felt like absolutely nothing. I felt like crap. And I did not do anything the rest of the day. And I just fell asleep. Yeah. So after I figured that out, this is a completely different day, but after I figured that out, and I did nothing the rest of the day, the next day I hung out with my friends, and I felt the urge to unblock my old friend and text her. So I texted her, and I said, "Hey, can we talk?" And she said, "Oh," because girl, I haven't talked to her in ever. And she said, "Oh," and she said, and I said, "Yeah, there's something that I feel like you need to know." And I don't know why I felt like I needed to tell her, but I'm glad I did, because she needed to know. I still am glad that she knows. Okay. I'm still glad that she knows to this day. And so I told her everything. Everything. And she said that she was like, "I am so sorry that he did that to you. I am so sorry." And I said, "Yeah." And then she started telling me stories, and we're friends now, which is good. And I told her everything, and then she texted him, and she went off on him. But first, she just asked a couple questions, and he denied it. He was like, "What? I don't know anything." And then she went off on him, telling everything, that she knew everything, that this happened. Why the heck did you do that to her? And I'm so happy that she did that. And I'm so happy that she did that. So she did that. He denied everything. He literally denied every single thing that happened. He said, "No, we did not date. No, we did not do this, this, and this." And so I texted him, and I said, "F you. We did date. We did do this. We did do this. Why are you lying? F you." And he said, "LOL, okay." Or something like that. I'll put up the text here, whatever. So yeah. Now it's just healing. He blocked me on Snapchat, he blocked my number, and then I found out that he didn't block me on Instagram yet, so then I did that. So now it's just healing. Now I just have to heal from it. And yeah. And I tried to talk to a couple guys after that, but I think I just need to stay single. I'm so tired of men. I'm so tired. But anyways, thank you for listening on my update on my life. I know it got really sad really fast, but other than that, life is good. It's so hot. Life is good. Everything is great. I have great friends and everything like that. Semester's ending, so that's good too. And I'm trying to live in the dorms this summer, so wish me luck. Thank you for listening to my story and my update on my life. The roads are so bad, and I've tried to call Gabe so many times because I told him emergency SOS. He's ignoring me. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's never there for me anyways.